Fight Club brought to you by BowlingPoint.live. BowlingPoint.live for all of your news. And now also we're doing gaming, so there's entertainment there too as well. BowlingPoint.live. Yeah, and we are going live right now over there on the X and also on the YouTube. Join the mayhem. Take a few moments, share this out with all your friends. Share the link. That's the best way to help the show grow is to share it. Put new eyes on it. Have new people coming in and enjoying it. Well, that's the best way. Help out the show. Share it out. Looks like we are good over on everything. I'm going to go ahead and move all that producer stuff over. BowlingPoint.live, everybody. All right. Thank you all for coming in. It's good to see all of you guys. We got so much stuff going down on the news right now. It's going to be a whole lot to choose from. No, there's only one thing going down right now. Everyone knows the one thing everyone's talking about is Carmelo Anthony and the Metcalf family. So it's a tale of two families, a tale of two cultures, so to speak, a tale of two different sides. The country is so divided now that we can't even decide whether or not something is racially tinged, even when it's not. This was not a racist attack. Carmelo Anthony didn't scream out, "I'm going to kill you, white boy." You didn't see nothing like that. You didn't see the other side. Metcalf, there was no one said that anyone said racial slurs or had any racial animus. They didn't even know each other. This is just a straight local murder case that should have never hit the national news. This would have been prosecuted quietly if not had been for the online hysteria around this whole case. And we're going to talk about it. Talk about my takes as developments continue to come out, because I think that we need to help keep the balance there. Good to see everybody in the chat. Thank you for coming to enjoy the bounce. We got Newt and Russ and Wood Geek and Mama Bear. Good to see everybody. You're going to get my take spicy or not. You're going to get my take whether or not you can handle the extra spice tonight. It's okay. It's all right. We're going to be kind of chilling for the first 20 minutes or so, because we always do a simulcast over on Blue Bloob, and we make sure that we have to bluff Blenser a little bit. I think we've actually said way too much so far. It's the way it is. The algorithms likes to look for words, and I might have already screwed the pooch by saying the word K-I-E already. But this is a local case, and I have to wait till about the 20-minute mark before we can actually get a little more spicy. We're simulcasting, of course, on a Rumble, X, and on YouTube. It's important to grow all audiences as much as you possibly can, in my opinion. I'm thinking that, giving people the good information, I think, is one of the things that we need to continue to do, regardless. There's just a whole lot of misinformation about this case, a whole lot of horse manure, hucky, that's coming out. People, they released a fake autopsy saying that this is Metcalf's autopsy. He was high on drugs and therefore. I'm like, not true. They say that, they're releasing as much fraudulent stuff as they can about this. And they're doing it quickly. They're doing it as fast as they can. They're trying to make sure that they're first, not right, but first. So I say, let's take a few days. A lot of nonsense has come out. Oh, they were at a fight. They fought at a party earlier that week or that year or that month or whatever. They knew each other. They did not. This is a completely stranger danger situation. And so this kid's trying to say, well, I didn't know this guy. I don't know what his intentions were. So there's a lot of little nuance we got to talk about that. So we're glad to see everyone's greeting each other in the chat. Mama Bear, she says, hello, cuz Roos. I do appreciate that. We'll be checking out the YouTube chat. So YouTube chat away. Thank you much. Don't be shy. Because I know people are watching. We're seeing that we are actually starting to hit some viewership over on YouTube as well. I know a lot of people don't like YouTube. I know people don't like that. And some people don't like X. Some people don't like Rumble. It's the reality of the case is that I'm going to get the red pills out as much as I possibly can. There's a lot of people on YouTube still that like to watch, and we're going to talk about this stuff. This stuff's going to be a little spicy. Get in the chat. Let me know what you have to say. I'll be checking the YouTube chat from time to time as well. I will be checking that out. But we're going to talk about this case. So we're going to talk about my opinion on the case. It's what you came here for. You came to hear my opinion. I don't want my opinion to be the only opinion you have. I don't want you to think I'm only going to go there because I can always hear my opinion coming out of Kang's mouth. I want you to have disagreement. If there's some nuance, bro. Apparently, cell phone video came out for this case. You got to be under a rock. If you haven't been paying attention to this case, maybe you've been under a rock. I really want us to start talking about cases like this because I talk about the stuff that really happens, the real threats to you. I understand people are going on about the tariffs. There are people still on Facebook thinking that the tariffs is the most important conversation to be had. There's people that think that the Tesla attacks are the most important conversation, or Doge, and whether or not, Elon Musk has been catching people with their hands in the cookie jar to cover up his own malfeasance. It's just weird. This weird blue anon narrative that's been popping up saying that, he's only gleefully looking into the same organizations that were going after him. Really, was USAID going after Elon Musk? Was it somehow being used to target Elon Musk and his business interest? I'm asking questions here. You tell me. Does that even remotely sound reasonable to you? That USAID, the slush fund, these are important stories, but sometimes we got to just dial it down to a local story and let you know there are real physical threats to your life out there. But I think we overblow some aspects of it. The reaction to this case has definitely been very racial, and it's very disheartening because neither one of these guys engaged in anything of that type. They didn't scream racial slurs at each other and have a beef with each other because of race. That just simply didn't happen. It just didn't happen. And all the people that are saying that somehow, some way, this is the only thing that matters in the case, you're being foolish. You're being blind, and you're simply just continuing to gin up more hysteria over this. What we need to do is keep people to understand this is a crime, not a race or a hate crime. This is a crime. Even if they scream racial slurs at each other, it's a crime. But that didn't happen here. Not a single witness has come forward and said that I heard blah, then blah. The magic word wasn't said by the Metcalf young man, the man that lost his life. And we didn't hear, things the other way. We heard, apparently, eyewitnesses said that the young man that was armed, the Anthony child who killed this other child, and that they are children. They are 17 years old. They are not adults yet. Okay. The brains of young men don't finish developing until they're 25 years old. They had 8 more years at least to go before their brains were all the branches were fully grown, and for them to be fully considered to be actually adults. That's why I say we raise the voting age to 25 at least. At least. Can it get a hell yeah for a little bit of that? I know that we actually had some of the Democrats saying they wanted to reduce the voting age to the age of these boys. Do you really think that this Anthony kid should, be voting if he's also a stabby? Ha ha! I'm not trying to make a little light of it. It's like he's like Roberto the robot. Gotta practice my stabbing. Mm-hmm. Y'all might get the robot reference. You might get that. It's a little Futurama. Like I said, I will make light in some circumstances that are still very dark, because a lot of times we're way too freaked out over one thing and really not paying attention to all the aspects of this case, because it will be developing on the nuance based upon new information coming out. If a video comes out and it shows that him being gang jumped by a group of boys, fine. Got it. Not understand. One-on-one, a push is not a deadly threat to your life. But if they got a video of him being pummeled and kicked, why? He doesn't have a bruise on him. That possibly couldn't have happened. Like we had that one case where it's like 30 or 40 young black teens jumped a white teen and murdered him right there in the schoolyard. And they gave the boys like the lightest little slap on the wrist, only arresting half a dozen of them. Like I said, those are the things that, the double standards don't need to exist. We need to treat all crime equally. So every time you hear somebody like, I guess I call it Black Twitter, or, it's a whole, I'm like, I'll screw you with your segregation nonsense. Okay. You can miss me with that. I'm tough. I'm a tough boy. I'm 40% Dolomite, just like my man Russ said. I can take it. Give me the facts. I don't need to be shielded from other people's thoughts. But what we're seeing is really ugly things coming out right now. People are going to the Give, Send, Go, and they're giving to it. This is my second time. This is what we need. Good. We're with you, soldier. They're saying all this black nationalist stuff that has no bearing on this case. It's got absolutely nothing to do with this. What also is disturbing is that apparently there's many Amazon boxes arriving at this new place. So they apparently moved from one house to another, allegedly a $900,000 mansion. That's unconfirmed. But allegedly moving from one location to another, got a private security team. Private, not being, they don't have extra cops. I know, a private security team, which is one of the most expensive things you can actually pay for. Private security. And there's nonstop Amazon deliveries to the house. Because, well, people make the argument they're afraid to leave the house. But it should be just food coming to the house. They're spending the money. Apparently a brand new Cadillac showed up in the how stereotypes are real. I don't know if it's an Escalade, but a brand $150,000 brand new Cadillac car showed up in the driveway with temporary tags on it. They're clearly spending the Give, Send, Go money not on his defense, but on loot. Fraud. It's fraud. Also, it needs to do. One donor needs to complain and said, hey, look, I gave $20 and then I found out that they spent that money on a brand new Cadillac or on a house or on private security or all three or nothing but Amazon. They ain't spent a dime on that in his defense. What the hell? Then Give, Send, Go can then say, okay, we see there's a fraud investigation. Look into it. Bam! All that money's gone. So by all means, go and donate to Carmelo's. Go ahead, donate to Carmelo's fundraiser, and then complain that you later found out that fraud was committed. If that's the only way to get their attention is to complain about a donation that you had made, and you then later found out that fraud, it was in fact true. You don't know it's true until you yourself look into it. So me making the suggestion that you go and make a donation right now is, hey, go ahead, donate $20. Go over there and say, hey, hopefully this is for your defense fund. Okay, thank you. And then maybe the next day come back, hey, I just learned that this money's not being spent on the defense fund. Someone told me what might have been happening, but then I found out from doing the research myself, hey, here's the evidence of that, and I want my money back. Actually, I want to report this for fraud. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine a few hundred people did that. Just imagine that. If you donate $2 and say, here's my $2. This is for your defense fund. And you come back a couple days later and say, oh, my $2 I donated, I want that back. Plus I want to report this for fraud. And now they'll listen to you because now they have to return money to you. It now becomes a legal issue because you legally gave them tender. It was under the auspices of one thing. It turns out it's actually they're using it for another. They're committing fraud if these allegations are true. And if it does turn out to be true, wait until the facts come out. And then after that, complain. No one should benefit from murder. And they said, well, Daniel Penny raised $1 million for his defense. Yeah, I get it. He did. And he spent it on his defense. You didn't hear him of buying a brand new home. You didn't hear about him buying a brand new vehicle. You didn't hear about him having nothing but Amazon delivered and private security being hired that he paid for out of it. Kyle Rittenhouse, he also had a lot of money raised for him too. You didn't hear about him spending on the money on that. He spent it on his defense. But prove me wrong in the comments. Get in the chat. Tell me that I'm wrong. Tell me, no, here's an article that proves that Kyle Rittenhouse spent all of his money he raised on Give, Send, Go or elsewhere on Pez and let's see, Pez and Hot Pockets and Little People naked movies. I'm like, really? Movies of dwarves? Like Lord of the Rings dwarves? Is that what you're talking? Animated adult entertainment of dwarves from Lord of the Rings. Show me that, and then maybe we can have a nuanced conversation. Maybe we can have a more balanced, nuanced conversation. Can we do it? Is it possible? I think it is. I just think we need to start talking like adults. So if it's true that they're spending the $470, almost $500,000 of this defense fund on luxury items and homes and things like Amazon and not actually on the defense, then it is in fact fraud. This is a ding, fries are done, easy situation for us to come up with the idea of understanding this. There's a rap song that just came out. It was Jeremy of the Quartering just played it. There was a rap song that came out, and it was pro Anthony, pro Carmelo, and it was disrespecting the family and mocking the death of the young Metcalf man, the young boy, the Metcalf, and making fun of their family. This is evil beyond evil. Was there a single person that made a pro like heavy metal or country song that was pro Daniel Penny, saying ha ha ha, he, making fun? No, that didn't happen, did it? We're looking at orders of magnitude differences in a cultural response, and it's disturbing, and it needs to be talked about. This is a problem. We got t-shirts from Newt, producer for the show. Thank you, partner. I do appreciate you taking the time and putting this out there for me. It says here, we got this brand new, it says here, I meme, therefore I am, posted. This is the family and friends of Carmelo Anthony are now promoting new t-shirts featuring his face with the phrase, free Melo. Well, he is free. He's out on bond. Oh, he got an ankle monitor. How poor baby. His ankle monitor must be chafing him. All right, 20 minutes has gone by. We can get a little spicier. Poor fucking little baby. Oh, I killed a boy because I can't control myself and my emotions. And now all I got to show for it is a brand new $150,000 Cadillac out in front of my brand new mansion as I'm ordering everything from Amazon that I've ever always wanted. Oh, you think you should save some of that money for your defense? Why? I'm innocent, man. Anybody can see that. You know, video just came out about that. It's probably going to hit the internet soon that shows that you were, in fact, the aggressor the whole time and is backing up all the eyewitnesses' testimony. You were saying, touch me and see what happens. I dare you, I dare you, I dare you, I dare you. Huh.
You got to fuck with Carmelo Anthony, man. Justice for my dog. Website coming soon. You got to tap in, man. Yeah. And you know what it is. Tweet tapping in. Anybody who fuck with me, fuck with my music, you gotta fuck with Carmelo Anthony, man. Justice for my dog. Website coming soon. You gotta tap in, man. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah. This is not good. This is not good. All this is doing is inflaming things worse. It's just inflaming things worse. You got this guy who says, a website's been launched where customers can purchase these t-shirts. The site is initially shared by DJ Fatboy Easy on Instagram. It's unclear to his connection he has to the family. Exploitation of this. He doesn't know this guy in any capacity. He doesn't know this family in any capacity. Oh, I'm going to sell some shirts because it's the hot thing. I'm going to talk about it, but I'm going to hopefully get some people to back the hell down from their radical extreme positions, because all this is doing is itching us closer and closer to that old C word. So this guy going out and doing this, I have to say, let's just look right at him and let's say this to him. Let's say he is definitely the cunt of the week.
You're a cunt.
You're a cunt. You're a cunt. You're a cunt.
You're a cunt.
You're a cunt. You're a cunt.
You're a cunt.
You're a cunt, says Dad. Cunt.
I said what I said. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, this can't be real. But sadly, it is. That's what we're finding out. People think this way. People are behaving this way because people aren't thinking. People are looking for any opportunity to just become famous, even if it's for something bad. This guy murdered somebody. People are screaming self-defense. Okay, we'll use the word kill. He killed. Okay, I'm trying to be specific because YouTube places to flag certain ones. We're going to see another Summer of Love 2025, Newt suggests. I'm thinking he's probably right. We could see a Summer of Love situation. We could see a Summer of Love actually happen because of this. You know, well, they'll be given space to destroy. Yeah, it's completely possible. Absolutely, completely possible. And if you think it's impossible, you have not been paying attention. If you think it's not possible and there's no way they can happen, you haven't been paying attention. And I do weep for the future if these people cannot see what's going on. If you just can't see it. And the saddest part of this is that there's way too many people that are going to be ginning up the hatred on both sides, thinking that they're right. Thinking that they're right to do it. Look, I get it. It's upsetting. This is awful. This should not be happening. I get it. I get it. 100%. But it is. And we have to have some hard conversations. We have to start talking about, why is the cultural response to this way? Why is the country so divided by this? Who fed people nonsense, nonstop garbage, nonsense culture to get them to behave this way in response to this local crime that should have been handled at a local level, never hit the national news? We should have never heard about this. But because the media found out that there was, oh my gosh, there's differences in the races, therefore we must absolutely positively be spewing this out nonstop everywhere we possibly can and get people as angry as possible. That's what we're being told. That's absolutely what we're being told. That's the only thing that matters. If it burns, it earns. If it bleeds, it leads. That's really where we're at with this. And that is absolutely baffling to me. Absolutely baffling to me. So, details of the case, we have to get through it. I'm going to go and take a look and see what James Woods has to say. This is the Wednesday edition where we go on and we take a look at James Woods and his feed. See what James Woods has to say, because this is his namesake show tonight. Scrolling through with his nearly 5 million followers. He's got 4.8. Said here 8 hours ago, he said, at some points, these lackeys at the DNC are no longer journalists, but merely propaganda organs. At what point is any president beholden to another political party's de facto PR firm? Exactly. Yeah. We have to realize the mainstream media is just the de facto propaganda wing of the Democrat Party. And now seeing that they're 100% against Trump because they're 100% for the Dems, we now know that this is just simply the de facto propaganda party. All they are is the propagandists for that side. It's disturbing. I hate every bit of it. There's really not much we can really do except for what? Build a strong counter media. A media that counters their narrative. How do you do that? You support shows like this. You support shows like this. We can continue to look at these things, even from the celebrity point of view. James Woods being one of the few conservatives in Hollywood, being a conservative in Hollywood these days, it's like being gay in Hollywood back in the 1950s. Just a big no-no. Tisk, tisk. What we got here, a Tish best served cold. Trump admin refers New York Attorney General Letitia James for possible mortgage fraud prosecution. Bwahaha. FAFO. This is one of the best lines since best headline since I read in college. Oh, it's just best headline since one I read in college, which will never be topped. I'd be interested in finding out what headline that is, James. You have me intrigued. Which headline is that? I am intrigued. What headline is that? Can you give me some information about that? Don't tease me. He's like, I'm going to tease you. Nah, dog, don't do that. Don't tease us. Just give us the information that we need to know now. What headline was that? You got that Twitter chat up, got that YouTube chat up, got that Rumble chat up. That's interesting to be in all three of those chats at the same time, while then asking the question of what's the intriguing college headline. Anybody know that? Can anybody Google it? Maybe AI it. Go to AI, find out which one he's talking about. Maybe it'll know. Who knows? So here he is going to make a comment on this the Camelo case. He's going to say, halfway to being a millionaire, pays to be handy with a knife. Oh, that is spicy. See, he made a little joke there. I made a little dark joke as well. A little gallows humor sometimes can do us good. Sometimes we can be thinking a little bit ahead down the road. And when we're past this and all the facts have come out, and I imagine we'll see a prosecution in this case that'll be victorious and actually show that this, it's indisputable that he did what he did. The only thing they're trying to say now, whether or not he was justified in doing it. True justice is going to have to be sought here. Justice itself is something that's going to be, we need to seek to serve that. And it's going to be difficult for a lot of us to comprehend it. But we need to do it. It needs to be sought. But we don't need to take extreme positions. Look, when the left gets extreme positions, what do? They go out and they burn Teslas. When the left gets mad, they go and they try to assassinate Trump. When the right gets mad, we sit here and we watch and we talk about it online. We make videos like we do streams like this. We make videos, we make shorts, we try to talk to people, we make posts like this. The posts would be spicy. But can you imagine James Woods going and trying to like attack this kid and his family or burning the house or burning their car? No, you couldn't imagine him doing that. But I say one thing you can do is you can use the rules against these people. Use the rules which are supposed to be done. Report this, get and set go for fraud. Present them the evidence. And if you're a donator who's already donated and you're now finding out that this money is being used to, well, buy them new cars and homes and clothes and all kinds of cool shit, FUBU and Gucci, then you now need to, well, report that and say, look, this is fraud. They have a right to, self-defense. They have a right to prove they were self-defense. They have a right to that. Absolutely, 100%. I want the same rules for them as I want for myself. But if we're now finding out that they're not spending the money on this, you realize how much money they're going to have to spend on their defense to prove that this wasn't actually murder? They're going to have to spend every damn dime of that, probably more than double that. But instead, they think that, oh, well, everyone will just stand with us and they'll just burn the city down if I don't get myself off. Look, if he gets off, you know what's going to happen? Nothing. If he gets convicted, you know what's going to happen? They're going to burn and loot the cities. They're going to George Floyd us again. One side's already made up their mind. I haven't made my mind up about this one yet. Statistically, I see something did happen likely that kind of followed along, standard ratios. Things that just seem to be kind of like, in the aggregate. I'm looking at the bell curves here. I'm looking at the piles of what's happened before. And I'm looking into more of the information about this young man. I don't know. We got in chat someone saying he was a gangbanger. I have no idea if he was. He's certainly showing it. He's flashing a gang sign and he's got a weapon in his hand. I don't know if that's an airsoft. It doesn't look like an airsoft. And maybe he broke the tip off. I don't know. Could this be a real gun? I don't know. I'm getting Trayvon Martin vibes. I'm pretty sure that his social media has been scrubbed. I'm fairly certain they went ahead and scrubbed the shit out of that. Oh, I'm pretty sure you can guarantee that social media is scrubbed. Be nice to see if someone can go to the Wayback Machine and be able to find out whether or not he was posting a bunch of crap like that. But this rap song that's come out lately, I'm telling you, Jeremy the Quartering actually talked about it already. He played it. He said he hopes it's AI generated. So Letitia James is getting taken down with mortgage fraud, of all things. It's so sweet, it could induce diabetes. James Woods is so freaking spicy. It could induce diabetes. Yeah, that's so funny. Hey, Letitia James is like, I want to get Trump.
A few moments later.
What do you mean I'm being arrested by Trump's Department of Justice? She ran on and campaigned on going after him. That alone is illegal. You can't say that you're running for office just to take someone down over a personal vendetta you have with them. You're not allowed to do that. It violates your oath, because you can't take the oath saying that you will fairly and evenly apply the law and do your duty. If you're just getting it just to take one person down, you have no intention of applying the law fairly and evenly. There's absolutely no ability to equally apply and enforce the law if you have a personal vendetta. So by virtue of her announcing that during her campaign to be elected into her position to go after this guy, to go after Trump, that alone excludes her from the possibility of running. As soon as she utters those words, they say, sorry, you got to drop out of the race. You know, you're disqualified. You said you were going to be abusing the system by saying you're going to go after somebody whom you didn't even have any proof or evidence he had done anything wrong. And now look at you. You may be going to pound you in the poo-poo prison for a long time if they find out that she did this. Ooh. She also lied about the relationship she had with that gentleman that's out there thinking, have you been to the cabin or not? He was like, for a good 30 seconds. No. And it turns out they actually just discovered security camera footage of an airport where they were both deboarding a plane together. And they claimed that their relationship ended years ago. And here they are coming back from vacation on an airplane together. It's just a little weird. It's strange. It's very strange. How is this possible? How is this possible? If they don't currently have a still standing relationship, how can they both be deboarding the same plane, same day, same time, and walking together through the airport just this year, just a few weeks ago, if their relationship ended years ago? Oh, y'all committed perjury? Surprise, shocked and amazed. I mean, consider me completely shocked. I'll look at that footage and I'm looking at that footage and I'm thinking to myself, you know, they have got to have.
I've got balls of steel.
Be walking through that terminal together, knowing that they're high profile individuals. And footage comes out of them actually. This actual security footage itself comes out, not just someone's cell phone shit. Security footage from the actual airline, and it was confirmed later that she was on the manifest, and so was he. Just a little weird. Just a little weird. All right, so moving on. Letitia James may be going to pound you in the poo-poo prison. Who knows? Come on down, Canada. Hollywood, California, the intersection of Gavin Newsom's booming tourism and $24 billion homeless solution. This is insane. This is not a protest. When I first looked at this image, I thought maybe these people are protesting Donald Trump, and they're all pretending to be dead transes children lying around pretending to be deadses and transes because Trump totally killed them with blocking their hormone blockers. That's totally what happened, right? Hormone blocker supreme was denied these people, and they all dieted it. So now they're doing oh no, it's not. This is just actually the homeless problem. They're actually sleeping on the Walk of Fame. The fentanyl problem. Same group from a different angle. If you take a drug, that this is the effect it has on you, that no matter where you are, when you are, you just have to lay down because you're incapacitated to the point where you can't walk, that is a serious threat to your existence. This is a biological and chemical attack. Can you imagine in any other stretch of the imagination looking at this and thinking that, oh, we didn't see this under the crack epidemic. We didn't see this under the heroin crisis. Not until the fentanyl shit came out that we started seeing stuff this bad. I mean, these people have got a baby stroller with them. 2 baby strollers. It looks like there's a person in a wheelchair. It looks like a baby stroller. Yeah. This guy's completely covered, like they found him dead. He's got a rolling luggage cart with him, like he just got out of the airport. Do you really think that this person's just taking a siesta along the Hollywood Walk of Fame? You really do think that they're just he just got off the airport, he flew in? That's a little weird. That's a little weird. That's a little strange. Oh, that's not what's going on? This guy may be dead? Tents on the sidewalk. Yeah. Trump needs to fix this. I'm okay with him declaring war on Mexico and drone striking all the drug cartels in the dust. Totally okay with that. I think it'll be a totally legit courtesy action. Banning all imports of all the precursors for fentanyl, banning fentanyl itself. Period. End of story. There's other painkillers. We got plenty of other painkillers out there. Plenty of other things we could use. This is unacceptable by every stretch of the imagination. And we got teenagers, of course, getting into minor altercations, murdering one another. Nothing to see here, folks. Told you, sometimes we get a little dark here. We get a little spicy. And I'm okay with that. You should be okay with that too, because we got to talk about some of the hard to talk about things. He says in response to E.L. Jacobi, says at the University of Amsterdam, jihadists beat students with sticks. I remember that. He said Europe is committing suicide. Yep, I remember that. Because the Second Amendment is our savior. Yeah, that's pretty spicy. I remember seeing that. Students at the University of Amsterdam, these people walked up with 2x4s and just started beating people. You're not part of our tribe. You're not part of the Muslim faith. You're not part of our group. We're just going to beat you. And they did that. We watched the video yesterday. This is something that we really shouldn't be seeing ever. Our world is getting crazier and crazier. It's getting more and more dangerous. Stay strapped. He's right. The Second Amendment is what's going to keep us from going completely feral. Stay strapped. Strap up now. Stay strapped. Head on a swivel. So, like all dirty Democrats, James says, he says, here's learning that the less said, the better. The Gavin Newsom attempting to quietly quit his comically bad podcast. Where is Gavin Newsom? Like, where is Waldo? I'd rather be forced to eat a Where's Waldo book with no salt or pepper. No salt or pepper, no ketchup. Just eat a book in a 30-minute sitting. I had to finish it, then listen to a minute of Where is Gavin Newsom's podcast. iHeartRadio should be ashamed of themselves for carrying that nonsense. Who gives a damn about what the hell Gavin Newsom has to say about anything? I mean, the freaking coiffed, slick dickhead sat there while LA was on fire, looking around and going, oh, wow, gee, this is my state, one of the biggest cities in my state. It's a local problem. Don't question me about why they don't have enough water to put out the fires. Imagine being the firefighter, walking up to the fire hydrant, cranking that bitch open with that wrench and it going, sucking in air because the whole system is deprived of water. And knowing that it was hopeless to be having your job right then. You were completely hopeless having your job. You could just stand there with an empty hydrant, with a pumper truck behind you that was not going to get fed. Hoses that were not going to get full, and a house that you could sit there and just watch burn. And you got Gavin, Mr. Perfectly Coiffed Hair Newsom, coming over to you and telling you afterwards, hey, it's not my problem, it was you, local problem. Sorry, I'm only the governor. Why don't you do that? How about you govern? You know, he literally pulled like a Biden and just sitting there and said, you know what?
Come on, man.
Hey, my fault. You open that damn hydrant up and you find out there's no water in it. I mean,
Game over, man. It's game over.
Game over, man. And now they're going to tell them they're going to wait 5 years before they can rebuild. Man, we're getting into so many subjects tonight, I'll tell you that. There's so much to talk about. So much to talk about. Oh, it says Booker is a weasel. Here we go. From Ji Wang. C.U. Wang? Ji Wang? Ji Wang? Ji Wang. Oh my God. Is that a fake Asian name? Like Something Wong, Bang Ding Ow, Holy Fook? Is that really? Is that where we're at right now? We're making these kind of is that what's really going on right now? Holy Fook, Something Wong, we too low, Bang Ding Ow. Is that what's going on here? Booker is a weasel. So it says here, Ziyu Wang. Ziyu Wang. That's where I lost it. Ziyu Wang. Oh, I see you, Wang. Don't do that, people. Don't do that. He says, I was a New Jersey resident, Senator Cory Booker's constituent. When I was jailed in Iran as an American hostage, Senator Booker never advocated for my release and refused to speak to my wife. Senator Booker is a hypocrite. Yeah. Ziyu Wang, you got a big wang. You obviously got a big wang. Speaking truth to power. Look at him with this.
I've got balls of steel.
Thank you for coming out and saying what you had to say. I know a lot of lefties are like, no! They're all freaked out right now. But thank you for saying what you had to say. Cory Booker and his, I'm going to speak for 22 hours straight. Do you think he was wearing boxers or briefs? Do you think, which kind of depends was Cory Booker wearing? Boxers or briefs? No, I think I say it depends. He borrowed them from Nancy Pelosi's stash. Oh my God. I love this thread. Legendary moments in rock history. A thread. Well, we can't play that because of the copyrighted music. We're going to have to screw on through. It says, reportedly, buses are dropping off supporters to attend Bernie Sanders and AOC events in the Barksfield, California tonight. Oh, imagine that. Supporters would have liked to take California's high-speed rail, but Bernie doesn't have that kind of time. Interesting. Yeah, we told you this is all gaslighting, right?
Dropping these folks off.
This is all like complete
Bakersfield,
astroturf.
California. Bernie Sanders and AOC right here. We got the bus dropping people off here. US VIP bus. So they're getting buses dropping these folks off.
Yeah. Paid activists. The rent-a riots. The rent-a rallies. It's the same people with the same money, with the same motivations to do the same things. What's this? No, of course not. Libs of TikTok says, meet Daniel Michael, who was arrested in Tucson, Arizona after he allegedly struck Jacob Couch in the neck with a hatchet while he was sitting at the bus stop with his wife. Jason and his wife, Kristen, were reportedly staying in Tucson to mourn the death of their son, who was stillborn. Jacob is now fighting for his life. So this dude in the sheriff's photo just walked up to this dude and chopped him in the neck with a hatchet, trying to decapitate him. Is there an update on this story? Did he die of his wounds? Was this a jihadi attack? Who knows? We don't know. But what we do know now is that the guy has been arrested. And this is just a little strange. You know, we're noticing a pattern in the media's reporting of things. How come they aren't raising a $500,000 for this guy? Maybe this guy said a magical word. Maybe he felt threatened. Who knows? I mean, you just walk around with a hatchet as one does, right? Like you bring a knife to a track meet, right? It's as one does. It's just a little weird. It's just a little weird, I have to say. Just a little freaking weird. Huh. They won't cover it's the wrong narrative. Oh. Oh, so here. Sad. Very sad. Another one, a decorated Delta Force vet suffers serious head injuries after being slammed in the head with a brick by an unhinged vagrant. Head on a swivel, folks. Stay strapped. Head on a swivel. I have absolutely no problem whatsoever telling you that you need to back the fuck up. Second Amendment is something that I will use. Second Amendment is something that I will be thinking about when I am walking around. Trust me, I live in a constitutional open carry state. They're just asking you to carry safely. That's all. Do not FAFO here. Do not FAFO here. Yeah, we have that one. Stephen Miller. Here's interesting. The alleged killer needs to live in a gated community because the world is a dangerous place. Interesting that they would make that argument. So it says Carmelo's family is using the $400,000 raise on Gifts and Go to move to a new home. Absolutely remarkable. Huh. And do you see the guy he's taking a photograph with? He allegedly beat a baby to death. Yeah, he was babysitting his girlfriend's infant child. He told her, you need to come home right now. Claims the child fell off the couch when he walked away. Then it turns out that no, the child had hematomas on the brain and retinal damage and things like that. And damage to the back of it. This baby was beaten to death. And that's the guy he's taking the photograph with, by the way. Yeah. This guy in the suit next to him that's walking him out right now. Yeah. It's going to take him by the hand.
We're up.
And she's going to ask. Very relevant question. But it's now come out that the fellow that's in the suit here next to him, the fellow that's leading him by the hand and pushing him into the vehicle, the fellow that actually is in the photograph there is a fellow that actually, is a baby killer. Literally murdered a baby. And that's according to records. Not even allegedly. And Jeremy the Quartering broke that as well. So you're surrounding yourself with the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst. What kind of vehicle they get into? Is it a Cadillac? No, Chevy Suburban, not a Cadillac. So it looks like that's his vehicle. Everything about this case stinks. Everything about it, everything about everyone involved stinks. Everything about how it's being handled, all the fundraising, everything about it, all the people that are coming out and defending this guy, the rap song, the t-shirts, everything that's happening with this is absolutely horrid. Absolutely horrid. And we're just not having the conversations that we need to be having. We're just not having the conversation we need to be having about what's caused this. It's a cultural thing. Our culture has been damaged to the point where people will take these tribal positions so quickly over a local news story, a story that none of us should have known about. And we become so addicted to rage, so addicted to the anger, that we come to conclusions, and it does seem that one side, when they come to conclusions, seems to be almost always wrong, and the other seems to be usually right, at least 85% of the way. Alex Jones got the documents, see. He's 85% right most of the time. Alex Jones is looking at this situation, and I know he's probably pissed off. He's probably looking at these people and going, I will eat your ass. Yeah, I get it. But another day, another mass shooting in Gavin Newsom's lawless California for April 15th from Kevin Dalton, reposted by James Woods. 2 16-year-old boys and a 50-year-old woman all shot while waiting for a bus in Vermont, at Vermont and LA and MLK in Los Angeles. So he's at the corner of Vermont and LLK at a bus stop. Two 16-year-old boys and a 50-year-old one are shot in Los Angeles. The victims have all been hospitalized. The suspects were described as teens, youths, teens. Interesting. Described as teens. Huh.
3 people hit. This happened at the intersection of Vermont and Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. 2 16-year-old males who were shot are in stable condition. The third victim, a 50-year-old woman. She's in critical condition tonight, according to the LAPD. Police describe the shooters as 2 males between the ages of 15 and 18 years old. They reportedly approached the 3 victims on foot and then opened fire.
Described as males. Not going to give you any other description. What color hair, eyes, skin, what color clothes, huh? What kind of build? Just 2 males of a certain age. Interesting. Just a little weird. Just a little weird that sometimes the most important details somehow elude people. You're absolutely eluding us. We're being eluded with the facts here. The facts are definitely, people are dodging them right now. Why? Breaks the narrative, puts forth possible that people are in danger and that there's a real danger to be worried about. It's just a little weird, folks. I think we can do better. I think we can think a little bit more about this problem and try to come to better conclusions as to what can be done. What can be done? Huh. James Wood says, will he buy an $800,000 McMansion too? Yeah. Just like we found the Carmelo, the Anthony family did. It says jurors saw numerous videos from surveillance and doorbell cameras showing 42-year-old Nikki LaFendo getting gunned down on a residential sidewalk and died several days later in the hospital after a 43-year-old demon, James Johnson, a complete stranger, drove up to Nikki and shot her. Huh. Why doesn't he have $500,000 to buy an $800,000 McMansion? It's just a little strange. There's a narrative here that the mainstream media doesn't ever seem to want to touch. I'm asking you to ask yourself these questions. Does this sound remotely fair and reasonable to you? Does this sound balanced to you? If it doesn't, then complain. James Woods says the Declaration of Independence laid out the inalienable rights of all free men, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It is the last that is so often ignored, yet so important. Is it too much to ask that we not be raped, murdered, and live in terror? Huh, yeah. Why are the rights of those who would do such harm more important than the rights of life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness for the victims? Why are the rights of those that went out and did the raping, that did the murder and did the terror, why are their rights so much more sacrosanct? So much more enshrined in holiness than the rights of their victims? How come the rights of the people that suffer from the rape, the terror, the murder, how come they seem to, it doesn't seem to matter? The rights of the victims of this, that they are absolutely thought of last. We used to live in a society to where if you FA'd, you FO'd. Now we're finding out that it's being reversed. That now your rights literally can be taken, the most important rights you have. Your right to this, your right to that. No. I'm talking about, no. The things that, so we actually have negative rights. We're going to need to reread this from negative rights, okay? You don't have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Other people, that's not true. What's true is this. Other people don't have the right to deny you the pursuit of happiness, to deny you life, to deny you liberty, and to deny you the pursuit of happiness. That's the truth. We have negative rights. In other words, you do not have the right to take away someone else's right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. You do not have the right to deny them life, to deny them liberty, deny them the pursuit of happiness. We have negative rights. The Ten Commandments were written as what? Thou shalt not. Thou shalt not. They began with thou shalt not. Shall not means shall not to so many things. It's shall not means shall not is pretty ubiquitous in my mind when applied to our so-called rights. See, the Constitution is a list of rules on our rulers, rules on the government, not on us. They don't outline what our rights are. No, they outline what the government cannot do. It's why it says the right to bear arms shall not be infringed by any law, writ, order, decree made by the government. They assume you have the natural right to own the gun. You don't have to prove you have it. If I don't have to prove I have a thing, therefore you need to prove that I don't. You have. It's a negative right. That's what the Constitution is set up for. But in our society, we got this backwards. I have the right to this. No, you just don't have the right to aggress upon me. You don't have the right to take my life and liberty and pursuit of happiness away. But look how quick we dropped that at the first little chance of becoming internet famous. Oh, I could sell some t-shirts and make $1 million. I can make a rap song and be as offensive as possible. Screw someone else's life. Screw someone else's liberty. Screw someone else's pursuit of happiness. Parents just had to put their son in the grave. The Metcalf family just had to bury one of their sons because someone else's son had poor impulse control, no future time orientation, obviously anger problems, obviously he's more criminally minded, obviously someone you shouldn't be having out in free society. The fact that he would murder someone over a push, and that's what we found out so far, all it is so far is that, means that he is a danger to society. He shouldn't be out. He should have been denied bond, denied bail, and left in prison until he was brought to the trial, and then, well, all the evidence comes out. You did something so heinous, something so dangerous, something so permanent that you're clearly a danger to others around you. And apparently he has a history of violence as well. We're finding all these details out now. That's why I say always wait. Always wait. Comment as you want to go. But remember, even, Biden himself, even he, tried to repeat this very line. It says, we hold these truths to be so, all men and women, you know the thing. This is what he was actually trying to quote. It says, we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are all endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Joe Biden, remember during the campaign, you know the thing. That should have ended his career right then. That should have ended his run right then. That should have ended his pursuit of the White House right just like that. Immediately. But for whatever reason, people are just as stupid about voting for Biden as they were about giving money to this Carmelo kid. Writing a rap song, whether it's AI generated or not, heinous. Creating t-shirts to profit off of this, heinous. Trying to become internet famous off of this case, but to getting photo ops with the kid and the brand new house that his family just bought with the money instead of money for his defense. What's going to happen when he goes to court and he doesn't have the money to hire the high-priced Johnny Cochrans of the world? What's going to happen? He's going to end up seeing the inside of a prison cell. They'll probably put him in for, 20 years. He'll be out in 2. And then we'll have another summer of love. Well, they'll burn and loot and all the other crap they did. This is something that I don't relish. I don't look forward to. I'm just saying we can do better. And I think the more we push on doing better, the better I think we can do. I think that we can look at this and say this is a local crime that should have never hit the mainstream media. We should have never known about this case. The judge dropping the bail is not unusual. The judge dropping the bail is actually not unusual. I listened to Sean talk about an actual justice warrior. I listened to what he said, and it made sense to me. This is a very common thing that they do. And that this judge is probably going to be an activist, and then it comes out, she has the old DEI stuff in the brain. I want them to look at me and look at me being a POC and their POCs, and they think that, well, she's a POC. I can be a POC too on that bench one day. That was her whole narrative, was a racist narrative. I want them to feel included. I want the inclusion, all of the crap. And Chad over here in Rumble says, he says, I think evil is currently winning over good at this point. Yeah, it always has to be that way, or else good has nothing to fight back against. If there's no darkness, no light can't penetrate it. It's just, that's the reality. If light can't penetrate it, if there's no darkness, light doesn't seem to have a purpose now, does it? So never fret, never fret, never fret. It does look that way, but we will always prevail in the end. Truth will win. We got here the new Liberal 2025 edition. Everybody's getting on board with these action figures. Give us our way or else. Riding the unicorn, the fat lesbian with the rainbow mohawk and the tattoos and the Starbucks coffees. Yeah. Oh my God. Foaming at the mouth with the nose ring. Is that Thrush? She got herself a yeast infection in the mouth. Oh, the yeasty girl. So disgusting. What do you call a fat chick with a yeast infection? A Whopper with cheese. Oh my God. This is so bad. Select our square with sweat all squares with an embarrassment. It's all Joe Biden squares. Poor Joe. Oh, Jody's like,
man.
Yeah, like give us what us want. Give us what we want. I'm like, yeah, that mansion in the Carmelo mansion is definitely. You walk into it, trust me, in a couple of months. You may want to change that. Change what? Oh, that's fucking stupid. What's going on here? Whose happiness? Theirs or ours? That's great. Checking in on the Dems to see if they've calmed down yet. Nope, guess not. Some of the comments on his stuff is hilarious. 3 more hours. Recovery. LAcounty.gov. All right. Interesting. Kevin Dalton says, Gavin Newsom in 2022, California will be the first state to offer universal health care to illegal immigrants. The small price to pay for $3 billion. Gavin Newsom last week said, okay, we need $3.4 billion more. Oh, Gavin Newsom yesterday, okay, we need $2.8 billion more.
California is poised to be if this proposal.
Let's see what we're having to say.
Gavin Newsom says the state short on funds for its Medicaid program known as Medi-Cal. The state expanded the program to cover undocumented immigrants. Governor asked lawmakers to approve another $2.8 billion in loans on top of a $3.4 billion loan issued last week. So California now making up a $6.2 billion shortfall in Medi-Cal funds. The money meant to keep the program properly funded through June.
If this proposal is supported, the first state in the country to achieve universal access to health coverage. So,
for everybody, including those that slithered into the country, scurried into the country, jumped over a fence, eluded capture, trespassed on some rancher's land, killed their dog, whatever they had to do, trained to agua their way through, hung panties on the little tree like we've been talking about, those, look that up. Border Patrol agents have been finding women and girls' panties on bushes near the border and look up and see what that is. It's a grapes of wrath tree. Yeah, let's just put it that way. Yeah. It's a grape tree. There's grape trees like vineyards along the border. Look up the grape trees and the panties on them, what that symbolizes, and then you'll find out these are the people he's giving health care to. The men that did that are getting free health care in California. Gavin Newsom is making sure that you know how much of a good person he is with his perfectly coiffed hair, don't you know? Making sure that those men get free dental and free medical and free, I guess transgender surgeries if they decide to have them. If they decide they want them, decide to need them, they want to become a bikini bottom instead of, a SpongeBob, they can do that. Absolutely. They can create another victim of the grape trees, and then
a few moments later,
they can get free health care to help them deal with the chafing down there. I'm just saying.
I wanted to ask you why you and your husband...
Nancy Pelosi caught in the headlights. Here we are from 60 Minutes.
I I wanted to ask you why you and your husband, back in March of 2008, accepted and participated in a very large IPO deal from Visa. At a time there was major legislation affecting the credit card companies making its way through the House. And did you consider that to be a conflict of interest?
I don't know what your point is of your question. Is there some point?
I don't know what the point is of your question. He was very clear. He wants to know the commentary about you in 2008 getting involved in a very lucrative IPO deal with credit card companies when there was a major credit card scandal happening. Oh, I see. Caught in headlights. I guess, well, Nancy, Denture's gin bottle Pelosi with her hammer time husband. Sure, made all this money, but don't ask them. How dare you ask them questions? You're out of your mind. You're a little person. You're not one of them.
Point that you want to make with that?
Well, I guess what I'm asking is, do you think it's all right for a speaker to accept a very preferential and favorable stock deal?
Well, we did.
And if you participated in the IPO,
well, I have many
and at the time you were
investments,
Speaker of the House, you don't think it was a conflict of interest or had the appearance of a conflict of interest?
It only has appearance if you decide that you're going to have elaborate on a false premise. But it
only has the appearance if you want to elaborate. Oh, it only has an appearance if you look at it. It only has an appearance if you notice. Stop noticing the noticing. Stop noticing the happenings. What are you doing? You're going to get me in trouble, Nancy's thinking to herself. It's all false premise. He just sat there and laid it out that you did, in fact, engage in this deal. But.
It's not true.
Really?
And that's that.
I don't understand what part's not true.
Yes, sir. That I would act upon an investment.
Huh.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to ask you why you and your husband...
Yeah, okay. Carmelo Anthony's defense fund fuels luxury lifestyle, huh? The New York Post here says after raising nearly $500K, Carmelo Anthony's family moved into a $900K home and got a brand new car. So they're renting a $900,000 house in a gated community with a family. Brought a new car after a release of bonds. So why are y'all spending? You know how much the rent would be on a $900,000 house? Someone want to go and Google that? Well, let's go to Grok. Certainly can go to Grok. Let's Grok it. We're going to ask the AI itself. So, how much is the rent average on a $900,000 home in Texas? All right. Grok is working on it. Estimating the average rent of a $900,000 home and depends on several factors, including location, property type, etc., etc. Let's say here the pricing as the 1% rule. And so for a $900,000 home, this translates to a rent of $7,200 to $10,800 month. Per month. So the mean will say $8,500 a month. How long do you think that this trial is going to go on? So let's look here. How long was the Kyle Rittenhouse case from charging and arrest to verdict? How long did that take? 8,500. Keep that number in your brain. 8,500. So he was arrested on August 20th of 2020. And it took until November 2021. So we're looking at a year and 3 months. Looking at 15 months. So, all right. 8,500 times 15. By the end, if it takes that long, it's going to be $127,500 worth of rent paid. So we got $127,000. Okay. How much is private security on average in Texas? So we got $127,000 that they're going to be spending on private security sorry, the rent on the home alone. And they got 24 hours, and they're saying the private security, probably armed. Let's go with the armed. It's going to be about $50 an hour. For executive protection or VIP security, it's $150 an hour. So we're going to go with the average of about $75 an hour. Now, you're going to get how many hours in 15 months? All right, so that's going to be 10,951 times 75. That's going to be, oh my Lord, $821,000. So we got $821,000 plus another $127,000 for the house and the security alone. So the house and security alone, that doesn't even account the defense. That doesn't even account paying the attorneys. We're talking $948,000, almost $1 million. Let's just round it up to $950,000 just for security and rent. That's just for security and rent on an average time scale of just the Kyle Rittenhouse time scale of 15 months. Just that. Okay, so we looked at $950,000 for rent and security for this kid. Okay, and his family for the 15 months at least that they're going to be involved in this process. Now, how much is the average defense attorney? They're probably going to get a team in Texas on a murder charge. High profile case. The average cost. We got $950,000 just for the rent of the home and security. $50,000 to $100,000 will be the legal fees. $250,000 to almost $1 million for elite attorneys for a prolonged cases. What's a prolonged case? Case complexity, blah, 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 blah. So let's say that it's going to be a high profile prolonged case. Then we're looking at another $500,000 to $1 million. So we're going to say it's going to be $1.95 million to include the defense, plus the security, plus the rent. That's $2 million we just came up with. $1.5 million. We got the calculation done right here. The calculation done right here on Rip Hill Fight Club to show you that they raised just under $500,000 and they're going to need almost $2 million. They need 4 times that amount. And yet we're understanding that we're getting nothing but brand new vehicles being purchased and Amazon being delivered. Look, if you are in fear of your life, you don't go buy or rent rather a $900,000 house. You go find some place away from everybody else. You move to a completely different county. You move to a completely different city, whatever you think you need to do, whatever they will allow you to do on release. You need to do that. To protect you and yours, you would want to find some place you're going to have a very low profile. Renting a mansion in a conspicuous neighborhood with a conspicuous mansion for a conspicuous case for we can't even say the word anymore. It's becoming so ridiculous. Why would you buy a brand new freaking Cadillac? Is it a Cadillac Escalade? Probably so. Why would you do that? Why would you be living large? You shouldn't be living large at all. You'd be terrified at this point of having anybody know where you're at. If you're truly in fear of your life, remember they said they did this because the evil white racism was always coming at them on the internet, saying mean words. So therefore they're afraid, therefore. I'm like, they really believe that people are going to come and get actual vengeance upon them. It's bizarre. It's just absolutely bizarre that you would think that this would be the way the world works. This has just it smells like moving on up. That's what this feels like. This is low IQ, poor future time orientation bullshit. This is the nonsense you see from those that have low impulse control, poor future time orientation, and a total lack of understanding of their world around them. They need nearly $2 million to cover all of this, to cover the security, to cover the home's rent, to cover their actual defense. This doesn't even include the money they need to pay their regular bills, to pay the electricity, to pay for the water, to pay for the internet, pay for the cell phone, pay for the food, the electric, the water, just the utilities alone. On that kind of house, you know how much it costs to heat and cool a house that's $900,000? The square footage alone, we're looking like orders of magnitude. So you take that 1.95, you're going to add a few more $100,000 to it. Over a period of 15 months, just add another $100,000 to that easily for all their expenses. Because they have the whole family there. It isn't just him holed up with some security guard. It isn't him and his granddad, hanging out. This is the most ridiculous case I've heard of. Not the most ridiculous case as far as the crime, but the response to this case is the most ridiculous I've heard of. People raising money and donating because they think it's a racial thing. People think it's a tribal thing. Oh yeah, it's the solidarity, brother. And all, this is nonsense. That is nonsense. Plus also the spending the money the way that they're spending it. And no one's even remotely upset that this is how their money is being spent. You're not even remotely upset that this is what they're spending the money on? Not the defense? That money was saved exclusively just for the defense. They should stay put where they lived, stay put where they were. They wanted private security, that'd be one thing. But trust me, $2 billion, they need $2 billion. This is excluding food, electricity, cell phone, internet, all that other nonsense. It's excluding all of that. And they're going to be spending much more than this $2 million if they spend all this money. So they're going to have to come up with all that money outside of the $470,000 I've already raised. Are they going to spend the $470,000 on nonsense? And then have no money for the house, no money for the rent, no money for the food, no money for the electricity, for the water, for the internet, for the security, or for the defense. They're going to have no money for any of that. And then what they're going to say, cry evil white racism again because you denied us having a $2 million, $3 million, $5 million, $20 million. Why am I making a $3 trillion fundraiser? It's complete nonsense. This is how children think. Oh, I got money. I'm going to spend it now. This $470,000 is burning a hole in my pocket. We have to do better. This reflects on our culture as a whole, as absolute garbage. So we got the numbers. They need at least $2 million just for the things I listed. The rent, the security, and the defense fee. They need $2 million for that. That's excluding all of the other daily things they need. Like they need to be able to wash that ass, I'm telling you. And I guarantee you, you'll walk in that mansion and you'll go, you're not going to feed the ceiling bird? Yeah. They're rubbing this in your face. Don't let them. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say bullshit. Okay? It's okay to look at this and say, I disagree. It's okay to sit there and say that they're just simply exploiting the system. It's okay to look at this and be upset about it. We need to talk about it. The right, we don't go out and do stuff like, I'm going to burn down a Tesla dealership. We don't do that kind of crap. The left, they get mad about stuff. They go out and they hurt somebody. They destroy someone's property. The right, we say, no, stop, don't do that. They want to make sure that everybody around you becomes Daniel Penny or Kyle Rittenhouse. If you dare defend yourself from any kind of aggression whatsoever from the left, they try to turn you into Kyle Rittenhouse or Daniel Penny. And luckily, justice was served in both of those cases. But now people are saying, oh, this is revenge for both of those cases. I'm like, hardly. No, this is not. No. This is simply two teenagers got into a scuffle. One decided that he wanted to murder the other. That's what the case looks like here. Supposedly there's video out now. It hasn't hit the internet as far as I've seen. I'll go and hit the home button for you and see if anything has shown up yet. Looks like nothing has shown up yet. I don't know why Joseph Pisspants Potato Biden has decided to show up on the scene again. Hit home again. Anything new? So here it says here, the narrative, a black community leader was killed by police, but the dash and body cam footage shows.
What's going on, man? What's going on? In the name of Jesus, watch out. In the name of Jesus, watch out. Watch out, get hurt.
He's screaming, in the name of Jesus, in the name of Jesus, and he's attacking the cop. He's laying hands on the cop.
Don't get hurt. In the name of Jesus, stop, bitch. Hey,
in the name of Jesus, stop.
Don't touch me, you're gonna die. Next time you touch me, you're gonna die. Next time you touch me, you're gonna die.
Next time you touch me, you're gonna die. Okay.
Put your hands behind your back.
He's in the street, running away.
Send me another unit. He's on foot, going down the berm.
He's running back. He's running back.
Hey, you gotta go down. You ain't down. That's Jesus, bitch.
And he's tanking it. He's tanking it. And still attacks.
Jesus, bitch.
Hits the cop. He's
Get down on the ground.
swinging at the cop. Like full on swing. Screaming, Jesus, in the name of Jesus. Unbelievable. Another 20 seconds of this. Still fighting. This cop is fighting him hand to hand. He just tased him. He tanked it. He's fighting him hand to hand. He's fighting him hand to hand instead of drawing his service revolvers or his service pistol and pew, pew, pew. Now they're grappling.
I'm stronger than you.
I'm stronger than you, he says.
I'm a Jesus. I'm a Jesus.
Huh. Oh, see, if I watch a donut would be like, quack, 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 quack. You're a cop. This guy is acting this way. He's attacking you. You tase him. He starts beating on you in the name of Jesus. What do you do? Fist fight him? Or do you quack, 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 quack? Do we watch a lot of donut operator? Man, we had so much spice tonight. It was flavorful. Gotta say, a lot of flavor. A lot of flavor tonight. We got to do better. Our society has gone a little crazy, y'all. But tomorrow, don't worry, you get a nice big release valve. Thursday Thunderdome is tomorrow. All rock talk, no politics, no crime and drama. Well, it's going to be all rock talk tomorrow here, Thursday Thunderdome. Come and get your rock on, get your release valve on. Thank you for joining us again tonight. Thank you for all the viewership there over on YouTube. We do appreciate that. So we're quite pleasantly surprised to see YouTube picking up tonight. Thank you guys for coming. And of course, everybody that hung out on Rumble, I appreciate. And of course, everybody on X, I'm going to say good night and God bless to you all. Thank you for coming out on YouTube and on X. Until next time, until tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time for Thursday Thunderdome. That's going to be a Rumble exclusive Thursday Thunderdome.